Hey girl, welcome to Finding My Best Self, the podcast where it's totally okay to show up in your leggings and messy bun, because let's be real, that's our uniform here. The only rule is to be unapologetically yourself.
And I'm Mandy, and joining me is Pam, the queen of finding the silver linings. We're here to share laughs, tears, and everything in between. Think of us as your new best friends with some stories to tell and wisdom to share.
From face palms to victories, we're diving into the journey of self-discovery, wellness, and what it means to truly embrace who you are. So whether you're conquering the world or just trying to find your phone in the black hole, purse, we've got you covered.
Because here it's all about encouraging you to lace up those sneakers, or don't, we're not judging, and join us as we explore what it truly means to own your confidence and find your best self.
So pour yourself a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, and let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Finding My Best Self. Mandy and I are so excited today because we have a podcast that's very different than what we've done before. Today we have with us Tannya, and she is a wife and a mama. She is the founder of The Closet Edit, which is a personal styling company that empowers others to find their style to make the process more efficient, easy, and rewarding. She's also the host of a podcast called The Closet Edit, and she will soon be publishing a book called Make It You. So, Tannya, thank you so much for joining us today. We are very, very intrigued by The Closet Edit. Can you tell us a little bit more about the company and exactly what you do?
Of course. I actually started this 15 years ago, and every time I have to share this story, it it still shocks me that I've been doing it that long. I did it right out of graduating college, and I started it because I'm in Seattle, Washington, and now I work with people everywhere. But back then, there wasn't a lot of assistance and help when it comes to personal shopping. And Rachel Zoe, I'm not sure if you've heard of her, but she
Mm-hmm.
really made it accessible for people. She had people talking about it. And I knew that as somebody that enjoyed fashion and someone that was a good listener, because personal styling is also being very like in tune with the person that you're working with. You have to listen to all their needs and put it together and create something for them that feels like them. And I started my business out of this desire to really connect with women, especially, and help them really feel their best in everything they're wearing, especially because we're all so busy. And the ultimate goal, yes, you need help as you go through transitions in your life, but the ultimate goal for everybody is really to just feel good in your
Mhm.
body, feel good in where you're at in your life. And that's what we do with my company.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's at the end of the day, that is part of the reason why we wanted you here, is because that is what we encourage women, obviously more so on the fitness side, right? But it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about just feeling good in your own skin and who you are, whether, no matter what it is that you're wearing. So I love what you're doing and the whole idea behind it.
Yeah. And when it comes to like working out and stuff, we work with people going through transitions in their life. I like to say that people don't come to us to say, hey, I just need two outfits. Of course, after we've created a relationship, you can do that. But initially, first time clients that come to us start realizing that they feel disconnected from what they're wearing. So they either have gained a lot of weight, they have lost a lot of weight, they can't see who they are in their body anymore. People that are going back into the workforce after having children. I mean, you go through pregnancy and then going through breastfeeding, if you breastfeed, or even that first year after the baby's born, that when you go back to shop, you're like,
Mhm.
everything has changed. Life has changed. And I have too. What am I going to do? I also work with a lot of people that are dating again. That's a huge topic of like, I got divorced, or now I'm taking dating seriously. I haven't had good relationships. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to work on myself. So there are so many reasons that people come to us, but it's usually something bigger than I just need help shopping.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
get that.
completely get that because I think not a lot of us can attest to that, that things that even used to work for us 5 years ago are still not things that work now,
Mhm.
or our body type have changed or things like that. And so just being able to, I said it earlier, like as far as our kids, we're constantly putting effort into our kids to figure out what they need to wear, what they need, and our spouses or partners. And so whenever it comes to us, it's like we just throw on the same thing. And I know that there's pieces in my closet that I've probably had for 10 years that I just need to kind of throw out because it's not doing me any justice, and it's definitely not the pieces that I normally go to feel good. So
Yeah,
I
and who you were 10 years ago is who you're different. I mean, like, now you're different than who you were back then.
oh
So
yeah,
when
for
you
sure.
wear those pieces, it's like stepping into you 10 years ago, and that could be
Yeah.
good. There
Mhm.
are some things that you can bring back and wear again, but when you aren't feeling like you're stepping
Mm.
into your best self right now, as a woman you are, it doesn't make sense to wear those pieces. And that's why they start hiding in the back and you don't even pull them out anymore. Because they're those items that you like put on and then you're like, maybe not today. And you
Yeah.
take it off and put something else on. So those are pieces that you either have to get rid of or find a new way to wear them. I like to tell people that too. Because sometimes people do have favorites that they've had in their
Mhm.
closet for a long time. And an easy way to update it is buy a new style and put it together, and it's going to feel like something fresh.
Mm. I love that.
Mhm. I know for
What
me personally, shopping is just very intimidating because I walk into a store, unless I'm walking in with something very, very specific in mind. Like I'm walking in and I want a pair of shorts. And again, let me get more specific. Like I am looking for a pair of shorts that are high waisted or whatever. Then I can go in and kind of narrow it down. But if I have like an event to go to, or if I'm wanting to just maybe freshen up my wardrobe or whatever the case may be, it's really intimidating because I go into the store and it's so much, and I try to piece together the things that I see, right? Whether it's on Pinterest or social media or whatever, and I put them on, and either I look at myself and I'm like, this doesn't look good on me, or it doesn't fit my body type, or B, I put it on, I'm like, this doesn't even match. So like I was telling you guys before the call, I'm really big on going when I shop in store because it's not often. I am very much an online person. I go in the stores that there's two stores specifically locally that I go to, and the girls know me there, and they help me, and I walk in and I tell them what I need or where I'm going, and they're these are the things you need, go try them on, and I'm like, okay, and that's great for me. So that's very much what you do, just in a virtual sense, which is really cool because who doesn't want to do
Mhm.
everything virtually today?
Yeah, and the hard thing too, when you're seeing Pinterest and Instagram make it everything look so easy. I mean, there is a lot of posing. Like you can pose in certain ways with certain items that make it look better than they actually look.
Mhm.
Another thing is that when you're I do believe that you can find things that are inspiring to you, but sometimes there's a bigger picture to it that is important to you. So maybe looking at these pieces and being like, what is it that I actually like about these outfits or this person I'm following on Instagram? Is it the fact that she looks very classic? Do her pieces look really fun that I'm attracted to? And using these describing words to find something that works for you, because not everything that
Mhm.
somebody puts together is going to work for you, which is why the book I'm writing is called Make It You, because you can take little bits and parts of things that you see and
Mhm.
recreate it for yourself, because it's not like a cookie cutter type thing. One thing that works for one person isn't going to work for another.
Oh, like the one
Yeah.
size fits all pieces. And I'm like, no, it is
No,
not.
it's not. Some of us do
No,
not.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned shopping, being intentional when you're shopping. And for me personally, when I think of the word intentional, everything else but shopping comes to mind, right? It is being intentional in my faith, being intentional with my family, being intentional with my health, being intentional, cooking, whatever the case may be. I am intentional in every other way. And I've never associated that word with shopping. So can you go a little bit deeper on that, and exactly for you, when you're talking to your customers, being intentional in shopping, what does that mean?
I love being intentional with shopping, not just for my customers, but with myself. It really gives you a direction that you're taking when you are shopping for yourself. Because I'm sure you've been in that place where you're like, you know what? Today I don't have the kids or have an hour and a half to myself. I'm going to go to the mall and see what I can find, or even online. And you start scrolling and scrolling and adding things to your cart that are on sale or look cute. And then in the end, you have this cart full of things that you're like, where am I? Okay, one, where am I going to wear this to? Two, do I actually like this? And three, the price is like $15, so maybe it's worth it. Like, so what happens when you are not shopping intentionally is you just start adding things to your closet, and your closet starts growing and growing, and you're not even wearing these pieces that you're buying, or you're really confused on how to wear them. So then you start getting mixed up on what your style is because it feels all over the place. So there's so many things that come from not shopping intentionally, and those little $15 pieces end up adding up. I go into people's closets because I do this virtually and in person. When you go into somebody's closet virtually or in person and you start eliminating these pieces, I've gone up to like, and my lead stylist and I went to one client that we got rid of like 6 bags of stuff within only 3 hours because she was just shopping without intention. She didn't have a goal
Mhm.
in mind of how she wanted to look and feel. That's number one. You want to make sure that you have a style statement for yourself. How do you want to look and feel in your clothing? If you are trying something on that does not align with that, it has to go. Don't take it out of your closet, and don't buy it online or in the store. Another thing is, you know what? You mentioned shopping for like a very specific thing. Intentional shopping is having a shopping list, but it doesn't necessarily need to be so specific, because what happens is you have this one thing in mind. You're like, I need the perfect v-neck cardigan with 3 buttons on it
Yeah.
in a, like whatever it is. And then you go to the store and you're there for 3 hours and you're like, I came up with nothing because you had this very specific thing in mind. So I do talk about making a shopping list. Maybe make it a cardigan rather than something like perfect and precise of what you need, because then it gives you the option to explore. What happens is that we get so comfortable in what we know, what has worked for us in the past, what our body type is, the styles that we've tried on, and we're like, in our closet I have 5 of these shirts and I know they work and this is my style. So what happens is you'll be attracted to that next time you go in. So it's good to expand and explore. So when you're intentional, it is having your shopping list of like, I like people to focus when they're shopping by themselves to the 3 items, and having that style statement for yourself so you know what you want to buy and look for.
I feel like you totally just called
I
me
know.
out like really
I mean,
bad.
I was
I'm
literally
sitting here and I'm
just about
like,
to say that.
are
I
you
swear that's just
like
what I was
she's
about
been
to
watching
say.
me?
Yes.
Well, and then not just for us. And so at the end of the day, though, I also know that it's not just for us. It's just every woman who is listening to this
Oh yeah.
podcast is nodding
No.
her
Like,
head and laughing. Like, you're in my life? Are you watching me right now? You've been watching me on camera. Like, you know what I'm doing. You've checked my closet already.
see,
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's so right.
I'm the shopper where it's a hodgepodge of everything. It's like I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
everyone's style, but I have no idea what my own is at all.
And especially when you
So,
become a mom, what happens with a lot of my clients that have children is, what ends up happening when you go shopping is, okay, I'm at Old Navy shopping for my kid, or I'm at TJ Maxx shopping for my kid. And then you pick up like a ton of random stuff because you're like, it was only like $10, pair of sandals, some shorts, a jacket. But you don't wear these pieces. Or maybe you wore it once and you're like, you know what? This actually wasn't really that comfortable. It didn't fit right. Like, I was there and
mhm.
I bought it because you feel like you need something and you know you need to shop for yourself, but you aren't being intentional in buying the right things for yourself. You're just picking things up
Yes.
to sort of like check it off and be like, I bought myself something today. So maybe my closet will feel better tomorrow, but it's not
Mhm.
intentional.
Well, I go back to how Pam was saying how she'll go in for specific things. I feel like I
Hmm.
can think back even whenever like I first had a job and I wanted to go shopping, I just look at the mannequin at the store and say, "Okay, I'll take her." I'll take the mannequin's outfit. And it's gotten to the point to where if I purchase things for a specific event, after I wear it, it's like I can't wear that again. Like I wore that for this or for that. And then now I just have all these outfits that aren't really versatile to where you can like mix and match with other pieces. Like I know for sure I have a pair of hot pink pants in my closet that don't really like, it's just a weird fabric and all of that, and I'm like, I'm never going to wear those again. So I think it's that too, like being intentional and getting pieces that you can reuse for other outfits, correct?
Yes. And yes, being intentional is making sure that your pieces mix and match well together. Like, unless, and here's a different case though. Like you mentioned special events. Unfortunately, special events, you don't often get to wear those pieces again, or if you do, it takes a few months for you to take it out again and wear it. But for everyday pieces that you are purchasing for yourself, you want to make sure that you can mix and match it at least three different ways in your closet. Or else it's going to be that purchase that you regret. And you're like, gosh, why did I even, it's funny how us women, we regret spending $500, but we also regret spending $20 on something. So
Uh-huh.
it's like, gosh, I spent the $20 on that and I'm not even going to wear it. Like, I don't even know how to wear it. So making sure that you do have a few different ways of wearing it. What I even do for my, and I'm a stylist, but the way that I work with my clients, I also work with myself. So when I buy something new that I'm really excited about, I actually go to my closet, make three outfits with it, take pictures of it, and then next time I want to wear, I'm like, oh, I have three different ways to wear it, and then you don't have to think. So it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Man.
I know personally for me, that's something that's really big because I do work from home. I also work out a lot. And then, but at the same time, I also have a mortgage lending job as well. So I have to have, some professional clothes as well. So it's really nice for me to have pieces that I can, wear on the weekends or wear whatever any other day, but then I can also dress them up as well. And I know probably a lot of ladies struggle with that too, is having the pieces that are everyday pieces, but you can also dress them up too if need be. So that
Yeah.
way it's not having a whole this is and I understand too that there are the pieces that may just be like this is just for work or just for whatever, but it's really nice to have just all those, a whole section of just pieces that are versatile. They can go either way, whether it's dress down or dress up.
Yeah, I'd say the majority of our clients, they do have that lifestyle where you can literally dress something up and down. Like you could wear jeans and heels if you wanted to go out in a top, or you could do the jeans and the t-shirt and the sneakers during the daytime.
Yeah.
But for some industries, like even for myself, if you go on my personal Instagram, I'm a mom and I'm a stylist. I actually love dressing up. Like for me, it's an art. I love fashion. I love dressing up. But when I'm with my kids, if you look at my Instagram, I feel really put together, but it is a lot more casual. So there are lifestyles like mine where it's like I do have this is my casual weekend wear with the kids, really cute, but not anything I would ever wear to work. And then I have my workwear that I feel really powerful in. Like I feel like I step into being a stylist and working mom when I'm in those outfits. So, but yeah, the majority of people, they do have, I like to call it a blur in fashion, where it's like you could dress it up or dress it down, depending
Hmm.
on what you do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
This episode is brought to you by MBS Fitco. Excitement is in the air at MBS Fitco as we prepare for our upcoming launch. We're introducing a line of premium activewear designed to seamlessly fit into both your workout routines and daily life. Our versatile collection is perfect for your workouts and equally suited for your day-to-day tasks, ensuring you look and feel your best, no matter the occasion. It's not just clothing. It's a commitment to self-care and embracing your best self. Be the first to experience the fusion of style, comfort, and functionality. Subscribe to our VIP list and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for insider information and exclusive perks available only on our launch day. Dive into the show notes for all the links you need. MBS Fitco is more than just activewear. It's a lifestyle. Join our community and be part of our exciting journey from day one to celebrate fitness, self-care, and your hero within. Don't just wear it, live it. All right, now let's dive back into this episode.
Well, I know you mentioned being a mom and juggling like a busy career. So, what's your best piece of advice on how to like keep up with the daily ins and out and finding time for yourself for self-care or even those snippets to even, I just did your style quiz on your Instagram, and so
Yeah.
I was literally dropping my girls off at dance, like scrolling and looking through it. So, how do you kind of juggle all of that and make time for yourself in those moments?
You know what? Every day is totally different. Both being a mom and entrepreneur, being a businesswoman has helped me a lot with being a mom because every day is different. You never know what's going to happen.
Hmm.
You constantly have to pivot, and being a mom is exactly that. Like you think you have a whole day ahead of you, and then the kid gets sick and you have to cancel everything you had going on for work and be with the sick kid, coughing in your face the whole day. So I don't feel like there is an exact formula. I do have to say that for myself, and everybody is different, but for myself, I do enjoy working. I work a lot of hours. I do have somebody that takes care of the kids so that I can work during the day. My husband also does have a regular 9 to 5 job, so it's very easy for him to help around the house and with the kids, and he is very helpful with that. So that
Mhm.
allows space for me because when the kids are at daycare, I have time to work out. I try to work out at least 3 to 4 days a week. That's super important to me. It keeps me energized. It gets me ready for the day. It makes my mind feel clear. And at the same time, when I work out, I get so many ideas. So working out for me personally has a lot of benefits. And yeah, I feel like there is no exact answer because it's constantly just figuring out like who's gonna, you have to like schedule with the husband, who's gonna pick the kids up. Okay, I have to work late. Like today, I actually have to work till 8 p.m., which is not normal for my schedule. But I had a long day and he has to help with the kids and get them ready for bed. So every day is really different. And I think just having if you have a partner, having that good team player with you that supports you. And I have been a single mom too. So I've done it by myself as well. And that was a difference where it was like a lot of calling family, hey, can you pick her up? Today I have to work late.
Mhm.
But I think having that community with you is really helpful. You do not have to do anything in life alone, whether it's taking care of the kids, business stuff, having people help you within your business, having help somebody working out with you and stuff. Like, I think community is very important in making things work.
I agree. I think it's community and communication too,
Oh, yeah.
right? The communication piece is so big, especially for people who have. Well, I say that, but I was gonna say people who have a significant other or a spouse. But at the same time, if you're single, it's the communication piece with other people who are stepping in to help you,
Mhm.
whoever that person is, and just having that open communication and just making sure everyone's on the same page, and not even just with them, but with the kids too. And so that way they
Yeah.
understand. I know I again had the talk with my children on the way home. I was like, I'm doing a podcast interview today. I'm going to need y'all to give me some time and everybody be quiet. Y'all saw how that went
Mhm.
before we started.
Well, and it's
Yep.
interesting
So,
because Pam does that too. Like when she's working out, you'll get voice memos like, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" And it is. I feel like
mhm,
that's our time to kind of, I don't know, be in our own space and actually think and do
mhm.
the things that we want to do. So that it's very important, even with a crazy busy schedule.
Yeah, I really do try to get my workout in. And I just switched to a new gym and I love it because I feel like it's more peaceful than the gym I was at. And I try working out from home and I have a room where I like to work out in. But when I go into that room and the kids are here, they're like, it happened the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe just doing the like at home workout. No, the kids are climbing all over me. I'm like talking to them. They're asking me questions. I'm like, this was not workout.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
having that
totally get that.
quiet space for me, like peaceful places are very important. This new gym I have is like so much more peaceful, not as loud, not crazy like the other one. So it makes a
that's
huge
good.
difference. Like hear my ideas and just being on the treadmill and just answering text messages and stuff.
Mhm.
Hmm. And just the time just to step away too. As a mom, we all need that.
Yes, for sure.
So, you mentioned trying new things and for people to just try new things. I know for a lot of people that's really hard, just trying
Mhm.
something new. It's like this, it makes them uncomfortable. It's or just a mental block or a struggle of trying new. Like I said before that I went to an event recently and I went to one of the local boutiques and she told me to put a specific outfit on and I looked at it like I would have never pulled that off the rack for myself. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, and I put it on and I walked out and I was like, this actually really looks good on me. And so it's just being open to, but I know for a lot of people that's really, really hard. So what's your advice on, I guess, getting over those struggles or fears of just trying new things?
It usually is us in our own head. I feel like with style, I've done a podcast episode on this, but we have lost the joy sometimes in getting dressed. Like we're like so strict on like I need to be safe and get the capsule wardrobe and make sure this goes with this. Like we forget the fun and joy of it, what it is to actually dress up and be a girl or a woman. We're not girls, as women, that when you try something on that is different, and I tell this with my clients, some clients need more coaching than others. Some clients try something on and immediately you could just tell their eyes are like sparked with joy and excitement of this new piece. And for some people, they try things on and you could tell they're uncomfortable. You could tell it's like very new. And as a stylist, we do have to help you get out of that. And I just let them know, like this happened the other day when I was with the client. She was trying on these wide leg jeans. And at first she looked at, she's like, no. I'm like, outside perspective, this looks really good on you. You could wear this when you're teaching. You could wear this to go out with heels. You could wear this with this beautiful blouse that you have in your closet. I was like, let's keep it on for a little bit. Let's try on some tops, keep the pants on. Within 30 minutes of trying on different tops and jackets, not to match the pants, but things that she needed that were on our list, she kept looking at herself and her butt and she's like, you know what? I really like these pants. Like they grew on me. And I'm like, yeah, it was just very different than a skinny
Yeah.
jean that you've been wearing. But they actually look good. They're comfortable and you could wear them so many different ways. And by the end
Right.
of it, she took the pants because she felt so good in it. So being uncomfortable is, yeah, it is scary because you question yourself so much and there's roadblocks of like, oh my gosh, am I going to wear this? Does this make my butt look big? Do my boobs look weird in this? Like there's so many things that go in our head, but we are
Mhm.
judging ourselves so much that we have to get out of our head. And sometimes like telling clients like, just wear the damn dress. You got to wear the damn dress.
Right.
And when you wear it, you get so many compliments and everything that you
Mhm.
thought like looked fat and you bulging in it, no one sees it. So we get so stuck in our heads
Mhm.
sometimes when things
Yeah.
actually do look really good.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
It's that self-critical, and it's,
Mm.
Oh yeah.
we pick a lot more than anybody else sees, you know, it's so much more. So I
Yeah.
have a personal question. This was not on our list of questions, but
Mhm.
I guess I just want to kind of bring this around to the whole trying something new, and just your whole the closet edit in general. So when you style, is it specific to trying to help someone find their style, or is it also specific to body type? Because I think for me personally, that is where I struggle the most. Is that I can put things together,
Mhm.
and I think that I have somewhat of a little bit of a style, or, but I see pictures of myself. And again, maybe this is just me picking on myself. I see pictures of me a lot, and I feel like the things that I choose make me look a lot bigger than what I am. And I say
Mhm.
this specifically because there is someone that I know that has a very similar body type to that I do.
Yeah.
And she wears different types of clothes that I don't wear. And when
Mhm.
I see pictures of her, I'm like, wow, she looks really great. And she looks like, and not that she's big by any means, because she's my size, right? But she looks like she's literally half that size because she is dressing for her body type. And so
Mhm.
that's where I struggle at most. So is that something that you do as well in helping people, or is it just more so finding your own personal style?
So we do talk about body type, and I do have to say that is just a small percentage of personal style. I feel like personal style has to do with your personality. It has to
Hmm.
do with what you like to do, what your lifestyle is like.
Correct.
And it does have to do with body. So, body type is an important part, but also the structure of how body types are created with clothing is something that is a bit more dated. So I feel like body type has a lot more to do with what you feel good about your body and what you don't feel good about your body. So it is meant to be there to be like, oh, you don't feel good about your midsection. This is what you need to do. So when I work with people, is getting to see where they're at with that, because some clients, I have plus size clients that they will wear something tight fitted and they look and feel so good. and they pull it off and they have so much confidence in it. Where I have a petite client that feels like her tummy is bulging and she feels so uncomfortable wearing something fitted. So we need to do like the
Mhm.
layered look. So yes, body type is very important, but it again, with every person, it's slightly different. And it's not just their body, it's how they actually feel about what they look. So maybe the things
That
that
makes
you're
sense.
wearing, maybe you're wearing things that in the mirror they feel like, oh, they look really good, but maybe there's more you can do to show your body that will help you feel like you're slimmer in clothing. So
That makes a
it's
lot of
very,
sense. When you
yeah.
say it that way, that makes a lot of sense. So again, it's just through my own personal lens. And so it's not necessarily that the things may look bad on me or may make me look bigger. It's just my own personal lens and
And it could be
going
also
back to
proportion.
personal style and what I feel comfortable in.
Yeah, and something that goes into, obviously I don't know the outfit that you are saying that you're talking about this other person that looks similar to you, but proportions are important too. So it's hard to go into depth of that on the podcast because it's so visual. But for example, if
Right.
you are bigger on top and you have bigger boobs, having something more fitted and then a wide leg pant evens it out. It looks really nice. Whereas if you did like tight head to toe with everything, it like shows a lot. And these are just like general
Right.
rules. It's not something that, it looks the same with everybody. But the proportions of the clothing that you're wearing make a huge difference too on how things look and also how you style things. So if you do have something that has some extra fabric on it, you can add a belt where you can put a jacket over it or you can tuck it in. Like there's different things that you can do with a piece of clothing and how you style it that will change how
Mhm.
it looks on you. And obviously,
Right.
with style, you don't want to overcomplicate things because the point is you don't want to make it work for you. You just want to be able to like throw it on and be like, you know what, I feel good and I look good. So making sure that you buy the right pieces that make that easier for you is really important. If you have to, and I tell this to clients too, sometimes they have like this green, beautiful, lacy exquisite top in their closet, like, show me how to wear it. And I'm like, we don't have anything to put together to it. Why have you been holding on to it for 5 years? Like, I love this beautiful top. And it's like, you can't make something work for you that doesn't. And they're like, well, maybe if I like do
Mhm.
this and I'm like, you're not going to wear it if it's that much work. And you've probably experienced that too. If there's a top that has like crazy
Mhm.
ties and stuff, you're like, take it off. You're like, I'm never going to wear this. So
Yep.
just finding things that are easy for you that feel good are really important. And when you work on your personal style, I think it's really important that I don't like to call it capsule wardrobe because that feels like you're in a box, like you can't grow from there. I like to say like we create a foundation to your wardrobe that you can work from. And once you have a good foundation, it does make it easier to add a few pieces here and there because you feel like everything
Mhm.
mixes and matches well together. But if you don't have a good foundation, it is really hard to do that. You're going to feel like
Mhm.
there's a lot missing when you're trying to create outfits.
Yeah, I've always felt
Yeah.
like I was a follower shopper because my
Mm-hmm.
sister growing up always had the style. And so it's funny, it's actually a joke between us that like 6 months later I'll start wearing what she was wearing cuz I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, I can't believe you're wearing that." And then 6 months later
Mhm.
it's like, "Oh, can I borrow this?" And or just different people throughout my life. It's like I've latched on to their style cuz I like this or like that, but I actually had that revelation a couple of months ago. It's like, what is my style? I had really went to, we make a joke that I'm always wearing black. And black's not even like my color. I really like color. But I've
Mm-hmm.
just gotten stuck in this bubble of just not knowing. So this is like my safe place. But so looking at the style quiz I did with your on your website, it's saying I'm neutral. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm not too far
Ooh,
off. But I
yeah.
kind of I'm a teacher and like Pam, I'm also in leggings and just more casual outside of work. And so I need to have those pieces that kind of are more versatile to go from, day to, working to not. But just wanting to really like amp up that style. And so I was very intrigued with what you had on your website. So I'm going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, and it is, you know what, it is very important. Going back to finding and giving yourself space to see what you like for yourself. I recently
Mhm.
worked with a client, he was a man, but this is typical for men where his whole life, it was his ex-wife buying him stuff, his mom buying him stuff. And when we were going through, he's divorced now. And so he was trying to figure out, like, who am I now? He's going through that
Mhm.
process of, like, now that I am a single man, what do I even like to do? Because everything I did was with my wife and things that she liked to do. She was dressing me. And when he was trying things on, he put on this like bright yellow shirt. And I asked him, I'm like, how do you feel in this? He goes, my ex-wife liked it. I'm like, but do you like it? And so going through the process of you figuring out what you like for yourself,
Mhm.
it's so easy that yes, it's good to get inspired by other people, but sometimes we get so lost in trying to follow others because we didn't have that space for ourselves that we give.
Mhm.
So being able to like have that space and ask yourself questions, and maybe you do like black, which is fine, but you also probably haven't had the space to explore something else and see if that works for you.
Right.
And I think doing that is really important. Like having a time at the store, even if you don't buy anything, just going and being like, I'm just going to give myself an hour. Let me see what there is out there. Let me try
Mhm.
something on and see how I feel in this. Or if it's something that I'm willing to buy and try to add into my closet and wear. So yeah, that's a really good conversation too, a topic.
Okay, so you're doing the mom thing, doing the closet edit thing, but you also mentioned and told us that you're about to, or you're in the process of writing a book, correct? Is this going to be your first book that you're
It
coming
is
out
going
with?
to be my first book.
That is so
That's so
awesome.
awesome.
So can you share more? So what inspired you to want to write a book? What's it going to be called? When are you expecting it to be published? All the things.
So it's called Make It You. It's how to overcome self doubt and step into your power using personal style. It is a hybrid. So it is part of a memoir and client stories. And every chapter is a life lesson, but it's also a style lesson. And the reason why I made this book is, as we talked about, our life goes through so many different, you go through so many different things in life. You could look back at your life 10 years ago and you're like, I cannot believe I lived through that. And so the book shows different parts of my life and how my style were affected by those parts of my life, how I was dressing, what was important to me at the time,
Mm,
and now where I am today. I feel like a lot of style books don't have enough depth. They're all like how to create your and I have them actually right behind me. How to create your capsule wardrobe, the top 12 pieces you need to be a powerful woman. Like people aren't talking about the stories behind personal style. And when I sit and work with clients, I hear literally everything. And I'm like, people are not having these conversations, both men and women, especially men. Think about women. We don't talk with our girlfriends all the time about our body issues, what we're going through with our divorce that's affecting how we're feeling about ourselves. We just know this like outside perspective. But when I'm working
mhm.
in it with people, I'm like, there's so much more to this that people don't realize. So I open up about my own story and journey that I've been on, and also client stories as well. So people can see that perspective of like, maybe personal style is something I want to dive into and take care of myself in this way.
Okay,
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
comment on this many different ways. First of all, I would have never known what a memoir was until the fact that I just did an interview with someone who she does that for a living,
Oh
where
my
she is a
gosh.
memoir coach and author. That is the episode that is going to air tomorrow on our podcast. So that's
Ooh.
really cool that God just is continuing to align
Oh
and just put us
yeah.
in front of the right people, right place, right time. So that's really cool because you said it that that's what this is or partially is, and I would have
Hmm.
never known what that was. So I totally get that. So that's great. I think that's the way that you explain that, even, and I haven't even read the book, so I would love to read the book, but just the way that you explain exactly like people coming to evolving, right? Because we all evolve as people. And I guess I've always known that we evolve with style too. But for me, I guess it's always just been as a whole, right? People are evolving in style as
Mhm.
what is in style, what the fashion is at the
Yeah.
time, but not necessarily to myself. and my
Yeah.
own style. It's just kind of going with the flow. Oh, skinny jeans are in now. Sure, let's go. Oh,
Mhm.
flare legs. Okay, let's do that too. Or
Right?
it's just going along. And it's so funny too, because I'm also when skinny jeans, I was like, I will never wear that. And now that's like all I own, except I do have a couple more flare. Because as soon as they said flare legs or the wide leg pants were coming back out, I was like, yes, finally, like it's coming back. Because that always had my heart, right? But it's also really funny because the first time I put those on, I was like, I don't know about
Mhm.
this because it's been years I've been stuck in the skinny jeans that I swore I would never put on. So I've
Yeah.
just kind of gone along, and I know a lot of people do. We just kind of go along with what's trending at the time as opposed
Mhm.
to really honing in on who we are and what our style is. And so I think that's a little bit about kind of like what you're saying is that people are, evolving, whether it's a situational thing and who they're with and what that person likes to see them in,
Mhm.
or who they're hanging around with and what those people are wearing. And
Yeah,
so how
like
we just
even
kind of
for myself
transition in
as
and
a
out.
stylist, like the beginning of the book talks about I started my business when I was 22 years old. Now I work with people in their 20s, but when I started, people in their 20s could not afford working with the stylist. I was working with people in their 50s at that time. And I clearly remember walking into a client's house on a Saturday morning, and she had a daughter that was my age, laying on her bed in pajamas, eating breakfast and not wanting to do anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the same age and I'm in her mom's house trying to help her figure out her style and shop. And I was so insecure with myself at that time that I didn't tell anybody how old I was. I mean, I did. I told everybody I was 27. And then when I turned 27, I made a joke with clients I'd been working with for years. I'm like, guess what? I'm actually 27 now because I was so
That's funny.
insecure. And in the beginning, funny enough, I was helping other people find their style, but I didn't have my own style. My style that I had created was one that was very conservative. I did not have fun. I did not play with trends. I was like, people need to respect me as not only a woman, but a Latina woman owning her business. So I wore very conservative pieces. And it wasn't until I turned 27 and felt comfortable, like, okay, come out. And then have so much more fun with my style. And that's actually when my business expanded more. When I was able to be more myself, my business grew more. And the more I grew on my journey in personal growth and having others help me and bringing them in, yeah, everything just like changed from there.
Mhm.
So the book is really an evolution of like my life and how my style changed, but how, all the good things that come when you are intentional with what you surround yourself with, whether that's clothing, your home, the people around you, the activities that you do, everything that you bring into your life, even clothing, affects the person that you become and who you are.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so true. Okay,
I
so when I come to you and you help me to find my own personal style and I completely empty out my closet and my husband's wondering why I'm spending tons of money on clothes and I'll be like, but I'm intentionally shopping, babe.
All that I'm going to say,
This
yes, I'm intentionally shopping now. Things are going to change.
this
You
is
see, like,
intentional, babe.
how is that different? Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But a
I'm
lot
I
gonna
of
blame
know.
it
men
all
end
on
up
you.
being supportive. So it's very surprising. A
Yeah.
lot of men
Yeah.
are very supportive when their women start doing this. And some of them actually buy the services for their wives because their wives won't do it for themselves. They want
Oh,
to put
I
the
love
money in the
Mm,
that.
kids or something else. And the men end up buying it for them.
mhm.
Oh, what like a great
That would be.
Mother's Day gift, or
Oh, yep.
Valentine's gift, or birthday gift, or
Yeah.
if there's any guys listening, ladies, send this
Note to
episode to your
self.
husbands.
Note to self.
My
Very
birthday's
popular.
coming up. I know what I want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But well, going back to, I know we've talked a little bit about, you said you started your business at 22. What initially was the reasoning for that? Was there anything that you were trying to overcome, or did you realize that within yourself, or how did that all begin?
That's a great question. So, initially, when I went to college, which a lot of people that are in fashion actually don't go to school for fashion, they end up finding it later in their lives. But I did go for fashion marketing. I got a bachelor's degree. And when I went to college, I was thinking, I am going to work for Nordstrom. I am going to work up the ladder because that's very popular here in Seattle. Like, I thought I was actually going to be in
Mhm.
corporate. And then what ended up happening is we had a week where different people from the fashion industry came to our school to talk about their careers and what they do. And the stylist came in to share what she did. And I immediately at that moment, I was like, that is what I want to do. That combines me helping people. That combines me being creative. I could be my own boss. I actually got married for the first time. This is my third marriage. The first time I got married was 18. So at the time I was married, and in my mind, I thought I was going to have a family early on. And so I was like, oh, I would have the flexibility to be a mom. And I later found out I couldn't have kids. Surprise, I ended
Mm.
up having a kid 4 years ago. But it was, so I initially started it because I wanted to have a family, but I also wanted to be a career woman. And I really wanted to help others. And I felt like being in corporate, it wouldn't be able to create the impact that I wanted to have. So I graduated and just thought, I'm going to start my own business. And I kept telling people that. And when I signed my first lease, actually, I signed a lease to an office space at 22 years old, was still paying off my college, did not have one client yet. And when I went home to tell my husband at the time that I signed a lease for a year, he looked at me like, what are you thinking? You kept talking about being a stylist, but I didn't know we were going to do it now. And I called the woman up and I'm like, hey, you know what? Actually, I don't think I'm going to do this. And she goes, I was crying. And she was like, you need to get your big girl panties on. You signed a lease. You told me you had this vision when you walked into this office, and you're going to make it happen. And I did. Actually,
That is so cool.
the first woman that ended up coming in to write about my business, my empty office, she came in, she did a video of me showing how to tie a scarf 3 different ways. She's still my client today. She became my client, and
Aw.
15 years later, I am still
That's
working with
so
her.
cool.
She has 2 kids now. She lives in a different place, and we're still working together. So it's kind of amazing.
That's that's awesome.
That's
I
really
know.
cool. That yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're good. I'm just trying to like that's one of those moments that if she wouldn't have said that to you, that would have potentially changed the
Mhm.
trajectory of everything.
Every
It's those little moments that if we don't just take the risk or do the thing, then we lose. I mean, imagine how different things would be and how many people's lives you have helped since then. So that's the little moments that we don't need to pass up on just because we're
Mhm.
scared or we're nervous about doing something different than what people think we should do.
Yeah, and every time you do that hard thing, it just gets easier until you get to the next hard thing, and you're like, how am I going to get through this again?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that
Exactly.
all ties it all in, right? So it's just
Mhm.
all about overcoming the fear, take the leap, wear the damn dress,
Wear the damn
get
dress.
over your fears, just go for it, just do it. And I think that that's at the end of the day, I think that goes for anything and everything in life. It's just having the faith to just do it and
Mhm.
just go for it. And anything, whether it's your style, clothes, or in real life situations, starting a business, changing jobs, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it really is all tied together, which is why the book to me is such an important thing I've had on my heart for a long time.
Yeah, and that's really, really
I'm
incredible.
excited.
I will be buying it to
Me
read
too.
that. I'm,
Same.
I'm very intrigued by that to hear. The whole style thing and finding your own style is very, very intriguing to me because I've never, ever looked at it or thought of it that way whatsoever. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of women it's going to be very eye opening for them to
Mhm.
hear what exactly you do and how you can help and to help people find their style. So, of everything that we discussed today in your interview, what's the number one thing that you want listeners to take away?
Oh my gosh, out of everything, I think that what is most important for me is community and asking for help. I think as women, we like to think, and especially for myself, like I like to think I could do it all, and you cannot. Learning how to ask for help in any
Mhm.
situation that you're in is what is going to change your life. You're going to have less stress. You're going to feel like you could do more. You're going to open up a space for yourself that you can step into that you couldn't before. So ask for help, whatever it is. Bring a community together where you guys can help each other. I think that's going to change everything for you.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
that.
yes. Having people, the community, and just to know that you are not alone. I know that we repeat that here over and over and over again. And that's a big part of what we do here is just it's for women to know that they are not alone because having that community of people to relate to or just talk to. How many
Mm-hmm.
times I say things and I'm like, I feel like I'm the only one. I just had a conversation with Manny the other day. We were driving in the car. I'm like, I got to tell you something really weird that I do. And I'm like, I don't know if you're going to understand or not. And I told her, and she was like, I know exactly. And she was finishing my sentences for me. And I'm like,
I
oh
do
my
it
gosh,
too.
like I really didn't think that there was somebody who this really weird thing happens to me all the time, and it freaks me out. And she was like, yep, me too. And I'm like,
Me
oh my
too.
gosh, you made me feel so much better that I know that I'm not the only person because it's something that I don't want to tell people. They're gonna be like, you're weird. That's what I think to myself, right? If I
Yeah,
say these things, people are gonna be like, you're up. That's crazy. You're weird. So it's just having someone to relate to and just knowing that you're not alone because I know so many of us feel that way.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, we always end our podcast by asking, finding my best self, the woman beyond the cape. What does that mean to you?
I feel like finding your best self is finding people, things, surrounding yourself with everybody and the things that make you feel like you. When you feel like you're trying to put up a persona and it feels so out of touch with who you are, it creates an anxiety. I mean, I've been through that in my life, even sharing that part of myself that I had to hide for so long. It creates so much anxiety that you can't do the things that bring you joy and that, that just like let you shine. So I think that is what is finding your best self, surrounding yourself with people and things that help you feel more like you.
Yes. I
Absolutely.
love that response. We haven't
I
gotten
know. Me
that one
too.
before. And I love the way that you put that. Well, Tannya, thank you. Thank you again for coming on today and interviewing with us. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And I was also very intrigued by the closet edit prior to talking to you. But now that you've really explained it, I love it that much more. I think what you're doing is incredible for anyone who comes to you to help them. It's something that a lot of people may not know that they want or need help with as well, like myself. And you have just opened a whole new world and door for me. So I am thanking you personally, and hopefully I'll be in touch with you soon. And hopefully it resonated with our listeners. I'm also just in awe of you and of who you are as a person, your personality, and everything that you're doing. And the book that you've chosen to write, it just everything. So kudos to you. I think you're incredible, and what you're doing is incredible.
Thank
And
you
thanks
so
for
much. I
Yes.
really enjoyed
okay.
spending time today. And yes, it was definitely a conversation I felt could keep going. So we'll definitely have to have another
Yeah.
conversation too.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So if you're listening and you are intrigued by the closet edit or you are looking for someone to help you find your own personal style, we are going to put all of Tanya's information in the show notes so you can reach out to her. If this episode resonated with you, or if you have a friend who you think might be intrigued by this, send it to them and help to get Tanya's information out there because I think what she's doing is absolutely brilliant because it's not anything like I've ever heard before.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, thanks for tuning in again, and we'll chat with you guys soon.
Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Finding My Best Self. It's been real. It's been fun. We hope you found a piece of your story in ours and feel a little more inspired to chase after your best self.
And don't forget to share this episode with someone who needs a little boost today or a good laugh. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode.
Nothing says owning your confidence like a new outfit from MBS Fitco. Check out the show notes for the link to shop our luxury athleisure. Go ahead, girl. Treat yourself.
And if you've got a story to share or a topic you're dying for us to cover, drop us a line. Our email is in the show notes. Just reach out and let's keep the conversation going.
So, until next time, keep owning your confidence, embracing the chaos, and remember, the best version of you is just an episode away.
And again, we love you and we're endlessly rooting for you.